So today I decided I was gonna make a ghost statue out of chicken wire. You might be asking to yourself, but wait, Pedro, didn't you make a ghost statue last year? And to y'all I might say that yes, I did, but there was a person who commented a fantastic idea on how to make that statue more visible. But whenever this was commented, it was already a past Halloween and I had no need to be able to actually make a video about this. But now that it is about to be Halloween again, I can go ahead and remake a video about this. But instead of making a ghost statue woman, I'm gonna make a ghost statue man this year. And all the tools I'm gonna be using are just my gloves and these diagonal cutters. Now let's get started. So first, let me tell you about how nicely cheap this project really is. At Home Depot, you can actually buy a good amount of chicken wire for like 15 bucks, which is good enough to make 2 life-size ghost statues. So if you're wondering, yes, this is the leftover chicken wire from last year because you can actually make 2 ghost statues out of this. Okay, I just finished making the body and it doesn't stand. So I'm gonna make some nice little like flowing pattern right at the end. It kind of make it look more human-like too. And I'm already halfway done. It's only been 30 minutes. So let's get to it. So my idea to make a strong base was to make a whole bunch of trapezoid shapes for the bottom so they can be nice and structurally well set. Now that my body part is like really nice and stable, I'm gonna go ahead and walk y'all through my next process, which is gonna be how it's going to look. It's not gonna be exactly like the picture. I'm gonna want him to look like he's reading a book. And I'm gonna be using the mosquito netting that I got to make a book of sorts. Whenever I'm done, that's gonna be the last thing that I make. It's gonna be like a ghostly librarian. It's gonna look so good. I'm really excited for this part because you can't tell me this is not gonna make it look more ghost-like. That's so cool. Just because of how soft it is, I'm actually gonna be using scissors for this part. And the mosquito netting was actually really cheap. It costed me only $10 for 100 square feet of mosquito netting. So I definitely knew this was gonna be enough to cover my nice little sculpture, and only for just $10. So my whole idea to use the mosquito netting was to drape it over my statue, kind of like a blanket, and then shape it over it by using my scissors and cutting it and shaping it into place. But I wanted to know what it looked like before I did any of that, so I started with it on the base. And yes, this is actually looking really nice and ghostly. Hello child, you're gonna give me some motivation? Yeah? Yeah. So at this point, I just recently finished the top part of the body and the nape of my statue, and I know how important the nape is from watching all of those episodes of Attack on Titan. And afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and work on the arms as I'm currently doing right now. After I finished doing the nape of the statue, I was going to go ahead and make the neck of the statue, as you can see right here. And I'm also trying to make the arms as the same size as my arms because this is a life-size statue. So I wanted the statue to have almost the exact same size arms as mine, but just a tiny smidge smaller. Plus, I'm going to have my statue's arms going inward because it's going to be holding a ghost-looking book. And it's just going to look really cool when I'm done. Now I just need to repeat the process on the other side for my other hand, and then I'll be done with the arms. And last but not least, I'll shape and make the face. Okay, you can't see it very well, but I am mostly completed. I finished the building portion of it, and now I just need to put the mosquito netting to actually make it look nice and ghost-like. And for my mosquito netting, where I'm gonna shape it on there, I needed to do like kind of like a rough estimate just to figure out how long each piece needed to be to cover each little side, because there's lots of little crevices on my statue and I need to cut like individual pieces so I can fit them on my statue really well, so I can make a nice kind of like a physical appearance rather than kind of like a huge blanket that just kind of like swaying through the wind. Okay, so this project took me like 30 to 35 minutes to complete it, but in all seriousness, this took me all day. And you know what? I think it came out looking really, really well. have this nice little backlight for my ghost, and you can kind of see its book right there, and the whole nice little form as it shines through there. It's a drastic improvement from last year, and I really enjoy it. I also wanted to say, if this video gets above 100 likes, I'm gonna go ahead and do a whole ballerina set of ghosts for next year.